Hey guys, this is Esther Nyawade, and once again I'm coming live with the topic of the week about mental load. And I've decided to do a video, then let us see if I can stream live because every time I have a problem with lip sync and audio, and it frustrates me during live. So you be my guest about mental load, and I know most of us have come live and shared their thought and spoke their mind, and now I want us to go straight to mental load on house helps. These are very sensitive, specific type of group that we overlook. Most of us we concentrate on more mothers, single mothers, working mothers, but now here I'm specifically coming out on mental load in house helps. Normally we call them domestic managers. And I'm more attracted to house helps who are also mothers. And this could be she fully lives in our house, or maybe she goes home and comes back the next day to prepare and kick off the house chores of our houses. So, straight to the topic mental load. Mental load, we have been told that it's an invisible labor involved in managing a household and a family, which typically falls on women's shoulder. It is not physical, it is invisible. We are not talking about washing dishes, we are not talking about preparing the kids to school, but it is the invisible load. Mentally, you have to think, you have to plan ahead of time. You are always there. Like tomorrow when I wake up, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. It is mentally in your head, and it plays a very big role on the outcome of the activities that you are taking care of. It's normally a worry to work or a cognitive labor. You are always like thinking ahead of something before doing it, planning ahead of something before doing it. You are overseeing those tasks solely you. So here I'm going to talk about the house help who has been who has been who has been hired to care for the house, to look after the kids, to make sure that the food is always ready in time, to make sure that the kids are always ready to go to school in time. They are always awake very early. The dishes are done, everything is done. And this same house help has a family to look after. This house help could be a live-in house help or a day scholar. She goes to her house and comes to your house in the morning. In the evening, she goes to her house, and in the morning, she comes to your house. Or this is a living house help who lives with you here and at the same time has to make sure that her children or her kids or her family back home or away from where she works are also living comfortably. This house help suffers mental load in the sense that she has more than just tasks to manage. She has her own family that she has to make sure never lacks and everything runs smoothly without any complaint. At the same time, she makes sure that she is there for you in your family to make sure that everything runs. She has to oversee, she has to plan everything before it takes place. So she's always being in charge of having never ending to-do lists. She has a to-do list. Oh, tomorrow I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And she has to make sure that everything runs perfectly the way you want. If she forgets, if something happens, she has to just find a way of clearing up the mess. Running in out and about. Remember what needs to be done, when, how, why, with whose help. How am I going to do this? Tomorrow I have to make sure that the kids are back by 12 because maybe it's Friday and they don't go up to 4 o'clock. At the same time, I have to make sure that normally some houses they have a specific meal to cook on Friday. I have to make sure the chapatis are cooked. So she has to always thinking about how to do it, when to do it, perfectly. At the same time, she has her own family. Oh, my kids, I have to make sure that this is done. Worse, it becomes worse when she's a single mom. But when she has someone who is taking care of them, it's even quite better. But still, she has to suffer that mental load. Also, she has she's charged with the responsibility of delegating duties. Maybe the kids needs to go out to play and she has to remind them, you know what, tomorrow we are having an activity and your mama said we have to do this and this. So she has to prepare these kids psychologically and make sure that they know that tomorrow we are going to do this. Some parents have totally failed to take care of their children, and they're leaving everything to the house help, making sure that the kids are just there, the kids are comfortable, because the house help is there to help them through. If the house help cannot come in, their life is frustrated and they can't handle it. And so the mental load that is always with most of women, they transfer it to the house helps and it affects them so much. So that's why I felt touched and I felt like, can we rant about mental load in house helps? They're very important people in our family. We hire them daily. Some of our family members are house helps elsewhere. We feel them. We are women, we are mothers, we know what they go through. Are we really ready to talk about mental load in house helps? Or do we just want to assume that mothers, forgetting that some of these house helps are mothers, are parents too? Yeah, they're always identifying how to fulfill gaps within the family. Umeshawapatia kazi, anajua anafaa kufanya, anajua akiamka hivi na hivi, this is supposed to be done. Grocery list is all on her because you are never there. Maybe you come back when you're tired. Maybe she wants to prepare something, there's no grocery, she has to make a reminder, write it down, go and get it, or let you get it. She's always there running errands on your behalf. How do you give back? How do you make sure that this house help is not mentally frustrated in terms of mental load? She always has to take care of the kids, the house chores, food preparation, food services, clearing messes all around the houses. But she has to do that and the mind. At the same time, she has her own family. That's where I'm trying to imagine how it happens. Yeah. So some of the effects of mental load in a house help, I will insist I'm talking about house helps. It is draining and time taking. Psychologically, your mind is always full thinking, preparing, how am I going to do this? 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 You end up being drained emotionally. You just feel tired. You are tired of thinking. You wish somebody can help you think. At some point inafika unasema, I wish I can just give you this my mind. Yani you are always seated with someone, but the mind is very far. They seem to be overthinking. They seem to be looking away. You ask, are you okay? Are you right? This person is experiencing mental load. He or she is trying to think, to plan, because maybe they are the only one who can do it. And in the case of a house help, she has been hired, she's being paid. And you'll find some of the employers saying, I employed you to do this, I employed you to do this, you should make sure that this is done. And they're humans, they forget. Not everyone has the ability to remember everything. Not all of them went to school that can remember, okay, let me have my notebook and have a to-do list. Some of them will just keep it in mind. They are human beings, they'll forget. Yeah? Mental load strains someone. You feel strained so much. You are overwhelmed. You become exhausted from thinking and planning. If you end up meeting some of the domestic managers, they don't even take care of themselves. Their appearance tells it all. Huyu ni maid. Why? They have very little time for themselves. This is a house help who is a mother. At the same time, she has to take care of her boss's family and her own family. She has been left to think, I can say to overthink, for her own, this boss's family, and her own family and kids. So you feel strained, you can't even take care of yourself, your hair is always unkempt, you don't even have time, you just feel tired, you feel drained, you just feel like you want to be left alone. But even if you want to be left alone, you have to keep on planning, and mentally you want to explode. And then you find like some of the houses you have your house help, you never ever lend a helping hand. She's there doing this, maybe she's preparing dinner, she has to make sure that the dinner table is set. You can't even assist saying, okay, she has already done this, let me help in doing this. It becomes unfair. It becomes very unfair. At least learn to say, I can handle this, let me help you this, let me help you this. And you find some men in the family atakuja kukuuliza, do you need my help? Do you expect me to say no? If you feel like I'm doing something and you want to help, just come, join me. Look, if you need a helping hand, you can let me know. Ukitaka usaidizi uniambie, come on. Just come and help me. Let us handle it together. We can do it. Sometimes let us divide. Even if you have a house help in your house, you can tell her, okay, I expect you to handle the kids. I will handle the house chores. I expect you to handle the house chores. I will handle the kids. So anything to do with the kids, it's you to manage. Help me think, help me plan. I will appreciate. Make sure the kids go to school in time. Make sure they come back in time. When they come, they don't lack this, they don't lack this. When I come, I make sure that the dishes are done, the laundry is done, so that we at least help each other, because we are both human beings. So that this house help can get time to also take care of her family. She has a whole lot to do. Yes, you pay her, but help her be mentally prepared. Help her be mentally fit to go about activities. Hata ile saa zile amefurahi, saa zile ako free, ndio pia yeye anafurahia kufanya kazi. I'm making this video specifically for that. Maybe there is a reason why I'm making it, but then we should not overlook the domestic managers. They play a very important role. And then for the house helps, how can you express yourself when you feel like you are getting overwhelmed about house chores? Just find that if you are having a good rapport with your bosses, talk about it. Let them know. Let them know you need help. If you are frustrated, just share. Just let them understand that we can always work it out like this. Sometimes you can show emotions, at least body language explains, or some you can communicate by body language. They can see, oh, she seems overwhelmed, she looks tired, maybe it's time I help, or I chip in and come and plan this, plan that. You can also help for assistance. You can also ask for help or assistance. Just say, please, I think tomorrow you can help me with this, I will handle this. Yeah, just the same to a woman asking her husband, I think tomorrow you can help me handle this. Also, let the house help just be free to say, I think today I've been this way, maybe tomorrow if you can assist me do this, then the next time I will just do it. Always ask for assistance. And then in the house, maybe a woman and a man, you can divide. I've already talked about sharing of duties. You handle the kids, I will handle the house. Or maybe you can handle groceries, I will handle food, such kind of things. So our to-do lists, we balance it. At least yours is there, I also know mine. So I'm always thinking about what to do in line with this. You are also always thinking about what to do in line with this. And for back to our topic, when I'm talking about how house helps, also let them understand that I was thinking about this. Maybe what if you just do specifically this and then leave this one for me, so I know when it is not done, it's always me. I failed, and accept, yeah, oh sorry, I failed, next time I will try my best, so that we don't overwhelm the house help, we don't make them feel less human. Yeah. Then as a house help also, you can also talk about it. Just create time, ask your boss, I was thinking I would wish to talk to you about this because I'm feeling like it's affecting me in one way or the other. Then you can understand one another, mwone kama mnaweza correct, and then you're good to go, because nobody's a machine, everyone is human. So I think with that, my rant is just all. I think it has come to an end. And generally, I was talking about house helps because they're very important people in our families, but we tend to give them less attention. We forget about them. And even this topic, mental load, I'm sure most of us, our minds were on mothers, mothers, mothers. Then I just said, oh God, we have a topic about mental load. And then how do some house helps manage? How does it work for them? Don't they feel frustrated? And then some of the effects of mental load, you can fall into depressions. You can feel sometimes you are bitter with yourselves because some of those house helps, they know the reason as to why they are in domestic chores, that the reason why they are running your houses to provide for their families. Some of them are single moms, some of them are just married, but then they choose to go ahead, go extra mile of fending for their families through being in your houses. Let them feel part of your family. Let them not fall into depressions and make bad decisions that can affect them negatively and even their family. Because once someone is part of your family and you make them feel at home, always be allowing them to open up and share with you, they can always be your best friends and they can do the best of work. So mental load can lead someone to fall into depression. You get overwhelmed too much. You can always complain, pointing fingers. You umeniachia tu hizi zote. Hata kwa nyumba bibi na bwana, you end up arguing. Unaona huyu sasa, the husband is always just analaza tu damu, mimi ndiye ananiachia nafanya kila kitu. Just learn to share. Like here where I live, I see like division of role is very important. Unapata bwana amepika sapa leo, kesho bibi ndiye anapika. When the woman is preparing meal, the man is going to clear the table after the meal and do the dishes, take care of the kids. If today the man is the one who took care of the kids and washed them and put them to bed, tomorrow is the woman who is doing that. He's taking care of the kids, bathing them and putting them to bed. So sharing of chores, division of roles can also work and help us evade mental load. Still back to that house help. Help her. She's your house help, not your slave. When you help her, she feels at peace. Don't let her struggle, do the donkey work as you just sit. Mpaka akipiga dasta wewe unajiinua tu karibu akuinue. So that's the end of my rant. Otherwise, I wish you a lovely Friday and a blessed weekend ahead. I hope this audio will be good enough. Na nangoja hizo comments zenu, addition, subtraction. Remember it was mental load and how it affects house helps, who are our house helps and at the same time have their own houses and family to run. It's so frustrating. Otherwise, thank you so much. I was your host, Esther Nyawadi.